Welcome. Thank you for inviting West Midlands 5G to give an overview of our programme. I am Lesley Holt. I'm the Head of Communications and Stakeholder Engagement. I feel a little bit of a fraud being here because clearly West Midlands is urban, so we do recognise that we have very different geographies and thus different challenges from the rural to the urban context. However, our view is that it is good to share lessons learned. I think it's also important in that stimulating a discussion around 5G use cases has applicability across the wider context in any case. I'm also often reminded, though, that we do actually have some rural areas in our region. I think it's between Solihull and Coventry. Anyway, West Midlands 5G is part of the Urban Connected Communities project. The West Midlands bid was successful and awarded in September 2018, but West Midlands 5G Limited was officially formed just over a year ago now in March 2019. The purpose of the testbed is to trial developing technologies designed for the delivery of both public and commercial services, with an end goal of supporting economic development by stimulating the 5G ecosystem. It will also allow industry to test different deployment models for 5G infrastructure and help to inform the development of policy and regulation to support, again, 5G deployment. Progress in 5G deployment is yet to take off any great scale generally in the UK. There are many unanswered questions about who makes the required investments, who benefits, and how to coordinate multiple players can be very tricky. West Midlands 5G is here to tackle just that. Firstly, ensuring the foundations are right via our Infrastructure Acceleration programme, and secondly, then to enable the benefits to be realised with new 5G products and services developed via our Application Acceleration programme and our other vertical work streams. We would be foolish not to recognise that the current pandemic has and will impact on telecommunications generally. But I think it's also highlighted even more the criticality of quality connectivity and capacity within our system. Now, the outbreak of COVID-19 has cast a spotlight on mobile and broadband technology, the enabler for so many of the services that we now rely on. Keeping connected helps our healthcare services and other key workers. It helps those in lockdown at home interact with their loved ones via Zoom or other conferencing services. It also helps tens of millions of employees to work remotely. As such, mobile network operators have been significant contributors to the global response to the virus. No matter how we end up emerging from the crisis, the trend for an increased demand for digital connectivity will only continue. Now that the possibilities have been proven, demand will rise. Millions more workers will continue to rely on remote working. I think it's important not only rely, but actually want to continue with the new ways of working. It has hastened the use of technology to diagnose and treat healthcare issues remotely. Patients across the country are now becoming accustomed to relying on remote healthcare services such as NHS 111, virtual GP appointments, and online delivery of essential medical supplies. Manufacturers will start to look more at robotics, artificial intelligence and super-fast connectivity to enable the remote management of production lines or connecting with remote experts. 5G will prove fundamental to fulfilling the potential of digital connectivity. It has to be a key player to help drive the economy post-COVID. This is important as there'll be a need to support the region to recover and in some instances reset and importantly grow. Important actually for the whole UK. Focusing now on our infrastructure acceleration team. By facilitating the use of public assets, developing a connected map, enabling the delivery of more full fibre across the region, and through solving issues from the Electronics Communication Code, this is what deals with the tenant and landlord relationship, and the National Planning Framework, this provides the guidance for town and country planning. Our infrastructure acceleration team have really broken through barriers in the region. Over the last 5 years, the legal and planning regulations governing the deployment of mobile network telecommunications and masts have actually changed quite dramatically. This has resulted in market challenges in areas such as determining compensation and consideration, access rules and rights, resulting in delays to deployment of mobile networks and really hindering the rollout of 5G. West Midlands 5G has achieved a standardised and simplified approach to 5G deployment, which both our mobile network operators and the councils in our region have said they really value. A fundamental aspect of the support infrastructure required for 5G is also the full fibre connectivity. And again, we've been working closely with the councils, but also with Building Digital UK, BD UK, part of the government's digital team delivering broadband network across the country, to consider appropriate business models to speed up the deployment of full fibre across the region. And another key component supporting the installation of fibre fixed and mobile networks has been the development of a connected map. Again, another case of working with the 7 councils, but identifying and mapping suitable assets and infrastructure that they own that can be made available for digital infrastructure. This, layered then with existing and proposed coverage maps from the mobile and fixed network operators, provides a really powerful tool. It allows operators to understand the public assets that are available in an easily digestible format. And the connected map really kind of demonstrates an innovative way that data has been used to tackle some actually quite tricky issues. The team has quite a few successes to date. These include 5G was launched in Wolverhampton, at least 6, perhaps 12 months early. A moratorium on public buildings was removed by Lesley Holt Council. Training for all the constituent authorities in our region on the latest legal advice. Establishment of best practice heads of terms with operators. That's linking with the standardised code agreements. Development of a digital map. Now, I've mentioned that, but this has actually mapped over 300,000 public assets and over 1 million data points have now been captured within the map. Development of best practice compensation models and full and fibre acceleration strategy developed, which we hope will help stimulate more fibre in the region. Ensuring the foundations are right has enabled our region to be one of the first in the world to launch 5G. The West Midlands, and particularly Birmingham, the UK's second city, has moved from 6th place to 1st place when comparing aggregate medium 4G download speeds in the second half of 2019. This is part of a route metrics report. Now, the route metrics study doesn't account for 5G speeds, but the 5G upgrade work the mobile network operators have been undertaking has positively impacted this result. Birmingham offers an aggregate medium download speed of 29 megabits per second, making it the fastest city in the UK. However, while we tend to associate large cities with fast speeds, the route metrics report also states in the same period that Coventry stood out with faster speeds than those in all but 4 UK metropolitan areas. In fact, it even ranked faster than London. Another trial, a recent trial in Sandwell, provided evidence of recorded speeds of up to 400 megabits per second and upload speeds of up to 80 megabits per second. This will improve over time, but it is really showing the potential of 5G. A test also showed that driving around Sandwell, 68% of the time there was a 5G signal. So we have to have this network in the first place to allow us to create the innovation on the back of it. Why is being first or at the forefront of 5G so important? Well, I think we have to remember that with 4G, the UK was well behind, something like 54th or more in the world to launch. But now with 5G in the UK, we are in the top 5. This gives us an early mover advantage, which we really need to exploit. We didn't with 4G, we lost out on all the application developments and innovations, a lot of which were led by startups. To help address this, we have launched our first application Accelerator in March. Now, the aim of the accelerators are to help hundreds of organisations, including the SMEs and startups, through the challenges of making new ideas become reality. Particularly for an SME, traditionally this journey can be tough, with a paucity of expertise and support, all too often defeating innovation. The application accelerator facilities are entitled Spring, and they will be in 3 locations across the region: Birmingham, Wolverhampton and Coventry. This will enable an understanding of 5G, but like I said before, provide the opportunity to test 5G products and services. The first was launched in Birmingham in March virtually, and we are currently kind of reviewing, in the light of COVID situation, how we might start and enabling engagements. However, the aim of the facilities are to bring ideas to market, drive innovation and business growth, create an environment where new concepts have the best chance of survival, attract inward investment into the region, promote entrepreneurship, create employment opportunities and boost the local economy. Now, participants can either be demand side, those organisations wanting to make use of 5G to drive their business or social outcomes, or the supply side, i.e. technology connectivity organisations wanting to build something with 5G, connecting the both together. There will be basically three families of engagement: 5G curious, that's kind of wanting to understand 5G and its relevance to a business or an organisation. There's 5G Explorer. This is more kind of actually integrating 5G into a business strategy and getting more buy-in and testing of 5G. And then lastly, 5G Tester. This is the real having the concept to prove and test and scale. The selection process will filter organisations to the relevant type of engagement for them at the right time. Organisations looking to test and prove, scale new 5G services are actually those that just want to have a basic understanding of the benefits and can register their interest in spring, and the details are on the slide. I'm sure they will also be shared after the presentation as well. Now moving to our mobility workstream. This workstream is looking at road, rail and passenger experience. Now, the transport sector has been hit massively by the current COVID situation, but it is vital to key workers, vital to get the economy working again, and in this respect, enable people to be economically mobile. We consider there to be three elements to consider going forward, and these are safety, choice and flexibility. Social distancing measures might be hard to enact in the longer term, but people will want to feel safe using public transport or driving their cars going forward. Choice will mean having real-time data to make travel decisions and be able to plan journeys. And flexibility is about, well, there's going to be more flexible working, perhaps different shift patterns. So areas where 5G can play a part are, live data, real-time information, traffic management, capacity management, and reliability of services, all of which will improve passenger experience and deliver that safe environment. We are testing, proving and scaling the UK's first 5G sensor network, working with Transport for West Midlands. Having the right infrastructure supports growth. A less congested, less polluted transport system with traffic flowing more freely not only improves the experience of travelling around the region, whether that's for leisure, pleasure, work, but it also puts the West Midlands on the map as an easy place to connect and do business. Launching this first 5G sensor network for transport will help reduce road congestion and pollution with effective and live-time data to inform traffic management. Sensors will be able to provide insights such as junction turning points, localised weather and air quality data over a detailed urban area, data for a range of junctions and traffic conditions, again helping improve traffic management, but importantly road design for the future. Information on traffic behaviour will be able to inform initiatives and transport strategy in the West Midlands. We have undertaken a series of 5G demonstrations within the mobility some finished, some coming to a close in the next few weeks. Interestingly, the Go Media example on here has real resonance with the current situation, because live information on trams and trains can be a real enabler for safety choices and safeguarding, monitoring capacity and social distancing, which will inform travel decisions. And then on here, the last item is our first competition, delivered with the support of Innovate UK, which closed last Friday. 2.5 million of grant funding being available. We are on track for project awards in July and commencement of the first set of projects in the autumn. Thank you for listening. I've given you a little bit of a whirlwind tour of West Midlands 5G in terms of our context and some of our achievements to date and plans for the future. So I believe we're going to be opening up some Q&A session following the presentation. I will endeavour to answer as many questions as possible, but I'm also conscious that I may not be able to, but I am more than happy to connect you with the relevant expertise back in my team. So thank you once again.